Hi everyone, I thought I'd do another live makeup look. Today's video may be just a touch longer. I decided I want to do a much more colorful look today, so rainbow looks always take a little bit longer because they got a lot more extra steps. So it will be a little bit longer, but it should be a lot more fun because it's not just plain makeup today. So I'm going to start just like normal with my Milani eyeshadow primer. And I'm actually going to be using two primers today because having a nice blank white canvas always helps. So this one I use to help prevent creasing and fading, just to help keep everything where it's supposed to be. And then I'm going to go on and use my NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. This is the one I use anytime I want a white sticky base, if I want color to really show up well. So I'm just going to apply it on a little bit, and then I'm going to be blending this out because on me, if I don't blend this really well, then it just creases like crazy. So I'm going to treat it just like the other primer. Kind of just blend it out, and if you see, it kind of just gives a base white on my eyelids, which is going to help make all of the colors pop. Try to get it not too far down. It is a sticky white base, which means that color sticks to it really fast. So I'm going to be using more of a dotting as opposed to kind of like a wiping. But first we need a crease color, which will help transition and make things kind of smooth out a little bit. I'm going to be using my Sephora Matte Metallics. So I'm just going to be using the light shade here just to give it a little bit of a place to start so that the color doesn't go too high, and that will make it easier to blend after. So this is just in the crease and slightly above where the white base is. If you'll notice, I finally remembered to put my camera sideways. It ends up with a lot larger view, and it just seems to work better. So that's just our base. And then I'm going to go in, and because I want to do a rainbow look, that's bright colors, I'm going to use my Urban Decay Electric palette. And this one is all about bright colors. So I'm going to start with, on the inside corner of my eye, I'm going to start with a yellow. I'm just going to be using a bunch of different flat brushes. So I have the Urban Decay one that came with the palette, and also my e.l.f. C ones because they're really short, so it makes it easier to apply small sections. So I'm just going to put this on the inside corner, and again using like a patting motion instead of a pulling motion. And then I'm just going to switch brushes, and next I'm going to use the orange, the slow burn one. So I'm just going to overlap it a little bit, and this is just kind of our next section until I get to the middle. Notice I'm just doing it on my actual eyelid. I'm not taking it up any higher, and that's because I just want the color to be very concentrated. So I'm going to go back and take the brush from the yellow, and then I'm going to use that to blend it out. So if you're blending from the light color in, you'll get a much smoother transition. Just a matter of patting over top a couple times just to kind of blend it out. I'm going to use my next brush, and then I'm going to go on with this Jilted. And this one's going to go out to the edge, and then again, slightly overlapping. As I'm doing kind of the warmer colors on top, So my yellow, orange, pink to purple on the top, and then I'll be doing the rest of the rainbow underneath. So I'm just going to go back and take the last brush, the one I did the orange with, and just kind of blend the edges again. This is one of those looks that you end up using a lot of brushes, then afterwards you're like, oh, now I have to wash all my brushes. Because you won't have any to do your next look tomorrow. Alright, so I'm going to take the small end of my one, and I'm going to use the purple. And this one I'm just going to put just in the very corner, just to add a little bit more dimension, corner into the edge, and that's also going to come down around the edge of my eye. So this is just kind of making the outside edge a little darker, a little bit more transitioned. I'm going to go back with my blending one and grab my blending color again. So just back in here to grab the light one, just so we can kind of smooth out the top edge of everything. I'm bringing this down a little bit further so I can just kind of blend out this outside edge. So you notice where there's a really kind of a strong edge, and that's where the top of the white was, which is why you just got to put a little bit of effort into blending that out. Right, and now I'm just going to take I didn't grab one, it's kind of a skinny one, just to do it underneath. So I'm going to start on the inside edge again. So I'm going to take this green. It's nice and bright. It will kind of blend with the yellow. So I'm taking that right into the inside corner, because I think it's a little bit more flattering than the yellow. And then using the same brush, I'm just going to go ahead and connect the two with this teal color. So that's our basic rainbow. I do notice that it's not really blending all that well. So again, I'm just going to take a little bit more, try to blend it out. Because I really don't want a harsh line at the edge. But I also don't want a lot of purple way out past. There we go. So that's our basic eye look. Let's add some mascara to that. So I'm using, oh, I have that upside down. So this is the Gosh Cosmetics Lash Sculpting Fiber Mascara. So it's got a fairly small brush. It's just, I'm just going to wing it through. it up a little bit. Pull it up. My eyelashes curl really easily, so I just need to really, I don't ever curl them specifically, I just kind of pull a little bit to pull them up. So I am going to do it on the bottom lashes too, just because otherwise the color really makes them disappear. Alright, so then we're just going to finish the rest of my face. So again, I'm going to use my regular Gosh foundation. And one thing that this will help with is doing my eyes first. Is you see how it's kind of a little blended out, there's a little bit of fallout. Doing my foundation afterwards just means I can get rid of all of that. Just paint over the part you don't like. A little bit more down here. And a little bit to even up out here. So because I have such a strong eye look, I'm going to keep the rest of it really simple. Because you don't really want to compete. I want the color on my eyes to be the focus. So I'm just going to use a little bit of contour, just because it adds a little bit of dimension. So I'm just using an angled brush, and I'm using my Gosh contour set. Again, I just put it underneath the edge of my cheekbones, just a little bit, enough to add a hint of a shadow. And then I need a little bit of color, so I'm just going to grab my Annabelle in Rosewood. And this one is, which is a kind of a pink shade. I'm going to use the same brush because I just want a little bit, just on the tops of my cheekbones. Then we just need to do the eyebrows a little bit. So I'm using my standard Quo little mini palette. And as always, my Tweezerman brow brush. So I just use a little bit of both colors. I mix them and then just kind of fill them in just a little bit. Even. This one's a little stronger. That one needs a little bit more point. Close enough. I feel like anytime I do my eyebrows, I always just go to them like, ah, close enough. That's good enough. So just to add a little bit to my lips, just because the rest of my face is so bright, I'm just going to use, I have a sample pack of Urban Decay Vice lipsticks. So I'm thinking still a neutralish shade, just adding a little bit of color. So I'm actually going to be using, this one, which is Rapture. And this one is a cream shade. So this lip kind of sampler pack, Sephora had as a sample. Can I say sample a couple more times? Sorry, I'm struggling to get this one open. I haven't used this one yet. So when you did an order, you could have added it on. So I actually ended up with a couple of them. So it's a great way to try out some of them. So I'm using a lip brush from Sephora. So you can see it's pretty close to my natural colors, just adding a little bit of extra, particularly where the foundation touched it and kind of washed it away, any color. And there we have it. I have a rainbow eyes with the rest of it all really neutral. So now I'm feeling very colorful and ready to start my day. See you next time.